Ladies and gentlemen, they thought you'd crumble. Didn't they thought you'd fall to your knees, plead for them to stay? But oh, how wrong they were. You stood tall, proud, and unshaken. And now they know. Now, they see the strength in you that they never imagined existed, the resilience, the fire that burns within you, and the unwavering belief in your worth. They thought you would beg like the others, those who have been reduced to mere shadows of themselves, those who have forgotten their worth in exchange for fleeting moments of validation. But not you, not for a second. Did you consider doing what they expected you to do? Because deep down, you knew the truth that no one could take from you, no one could steal no matter how hard they tried. You knew your worth, they didn't, and that's why they were so desperate to see you fail, so desperate to break you, so desperate to make you feel like you were less than everything you are. But in their eyes, you only became more and more untouchable. The more they tried to break you, the stronger you became, because you were never afraid to walk alone when the path demanded it, because you were never afraid to leave behind what no longer served you. You knew your worth, and in that knowledge, you became unstoppable. They tried to reduce you. They tried to make you feel small. They tried to convince you that you were nothing without them, that you were nothing without their approval, without their permission to exist in the way that you do. They thought they could control you, manipulate you to make you beg for their acceptance. But what they failed to realize is that you were never asking for their approval because you didn't need it. You knew your value. You knew that you could stand on your own 2 feet and build a life that was yours and yours alone. You knew that your success was not dependent on anyone else's acknowledgement. Your power was not in their hands, it was in yours. And that scared them because they realized too late that they couldn't control you. They couldn't break you. They couldn't mold you into something that would fit their narrative because you were already whole, already complete, already everything they could never be. You see, they thought they had power over you. They thought they could wear you down, break your spirit, until you were begging for crumbs, begging for scraps, begging for anything they would give. But they underestimated you. They underestimated your resolve, your strength, your unyielding belief in yourself, and the fact that you would never settle for less than what you deserved. And now they are forced to watch as you rise, as you continue to thrive, as you flourish in ways they never thought possible, because they failed to recognize the one thing that made you different from them. They failed to recognize the power of your belief in your own worth, and it terrified them because they knew deep down that if you ever truly embraced it, they would have nothing left to control. They would have nothing left to take from you. And that's why they tried so hard to break you. But all they did was make you stronger. All they did was fuel the fire that burns within you. And now you stand at the top of the mountain looking down at them, wondering why they ever thought you would kneel before them. They wanted you to plead. They wanted you to show weakness. They wanted to see you falter just for a moment, just for long enough for them to swoop in and take control again. But that was never going to happen, not with you. Because you understand something. They never will. Your worth is not for sale. Your dignity is not for rent. Your self-respect is not negotiable. They tried to bargain with your soul, but you weren't having it. You didn't need their approval. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their love, because the truth is you gave yourself all of that a long time ago. You loved yourself enough to know that you deserved better than what they were offering you. You respected yourself enough to walk away from what no longer served you. You valued yourself enough to stand firm in your truth, even when it made them uncomfortable. And now they have to watch as you soar, as you rise above the lies, the manipulation, the games they played because you refused to let them define you. They tried to make you feel inferior. They tried to make you question your own abilities. They tried to convince you that you were nothing without their influence, without their presence in your life. But you refused to listen because you knew that the moment you allowed them to control your perception of yourself, you would be lost. You knew that the moment you allowed their words to take root in your mind, you would be reduced to nothing more than a puppet, controlled by their strings. So instead, you chose to walk away. You chose to let go of everything that was holding you back. And you chose to walk forward with your head held high because you knew that you had the power to create your own destiny. You knew that your worth wasn't tied to anyone else's opinion of you. It was tied to your own understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. And that is why you stand here today, unbroken and unstoppable. You see, the reason they wanted you to plead, the reason they wanted you to beg, was because it gave them a false sense of power, a false sense of control. But what they didn't realize is that power isn't about control. It's about strength. It's about knowing who you are and what you stand for, and never compromising on that. It's about refusing to be manipulated, refusing to be used as a pawn in someone else's game. And that's what you did. You refused to play by their rules. You refused to kneel before them. And as a result, you've become more powerful than they could ever imagine. Because true power doesn't come from domination. It comes from self-mastery. It comes from knowing that no one can take away what you've built inside yourself. No one can take away your sense of self-worth. And that's why they will never be able to break you, because you are already whole. You are already complete. And nothing they do or say can ever change that. They thought you would beg for their love, their approval, their attention. But what they didn't know is that you already gave all of that to yourself. A long time ago, you learned to love yourself when no one else did. You learned to accept yourself when the world rejected you. You learned to believe in yourself when no one else did. And that made all the difference, because once you understand your own worth, no one can ever take that from you. No one can ever diminish you. No one can ever make you feel less than what you are, because you have already claimed your power. And now they are forced to watch as you continue to rise, as you continue to succeed in ways they never thought possible, because while they were trying to break you, you were building something far more powerful than they could ever understand. They wanted you to plead. They wanted you to show them that you were desperate, that you needed them. But the truth is, they were the ones who were desperate. They were desperate to control you, desperate to make you feel small, because in doing so, they could feel bigger. But what they didn't realize is that you were never theirs to control. You were never theirs to dominate. You were always your own person. And now, they are left to watch as you rise to the heights they could never reach. Because while they were too busy trying to break you, you were too busy building an empire that no one could ever tear down. And now, as you stand here today, unshaken, unbroken, proud and strong, they know the truth. They know that you are a force to be reckoned with. They know that you will never beg. You will never plead. You will never compromise on your worth. And that is why they fear you, because deep down they know that once you fully embrace your power, once you fully embrace your worth, they will have no place left in your life, because you have become the person they could never be. And now you are free to live life on your own terms, free to build your own future, free to create your own destiny, because you knew your worth long before they ever did. And now it is your time to shine your time, to show the world what you are made of. Your time to show them what happens when you refuse to beg for something you already have. Inside yourself, the power, the strength, the confidence to stand tall and never apologize for who you are. Never apologize for the strength that runs through your veins, for the fire that burns in your heart, for the relentless drive that propels you forward. Never apologize for your ambition, for your vision, or for the fierce independence that you fought so hard to build. You owe no one an explanation for your greatness. You owe no one an apology for the way you carry yourself, with a sense of purpose, with a knowing that only comes from understanding your worth, your value. Those who are intimidated by your confidence, by your refusal to shrink or dim your light, are simply reflecting their own insecurities. They want you to shrink. They want you to play small. They want you to bow down, to plead, to show them that you need their approval, that you need their validation, but you never needed it, not then and not now. And as they look on with eyes full of resentment and disbelief, it is their own reflection they see, one of weakness, one of fear, one of a desperation that they tried to project onto you, but you saw right through it. You saw who you were long before they did, and you know now, more than ever, that they were never meant to be part of your story. And for that, you stand tall. You stand tall, not because life has been kind, not because you've had it easy, but because you've fought for every inch of ground you've gained. Every step forward was hard-earned. Every success, hard-won. Every breakthrough came after countless failures and setbacks. You knew that the road would be difficult, but you chose to walk it anyway, because you understood something fundamental, that your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, by the setbacks you've faced, or by the people who tried to hold you back. Your worth is inherent in you. It's something that cannot be stolen, something that cannot be taken away. The battles you fought, the losses you endured, the heartbreak you experienced, none of them were a reflection of your worth. They were simply tests of your resilience, of your character. And now, as you stand in your truth, you know that those tests were never meant to break you. They were meant to shape you into the powerful force you are today. And still, they try to bring you down. They still try to make you feel small, insignificant, as if you need their approval to keep moving forward, to keep succeeding. They see the way you move through life, with grace, with confidence, with certainty, and they resent it because they could never do what you've done. They could never rise above the struggles you've overcome. They could never summon the courage to stand tall in the face of adversity the way you do. And so, they attack. They belittle you. They attempt to undermine you. They want to see you fail. But what they don't understand is that their attempts only make you stronger. Their words only fuel the fire within you. You don't need their approval, their support, or their recognition. You never have. You are more than enough just as you are. You've built yourself from the ground up, piece by piece, brick by brick, and nothing, no one, can ever tear that down. You were never afraid to walk alone. You were never afraid to take the path less traveled, the path that others were too afraid to walk, because you knew that it was only by stepping out on your own, by embracing the uncomfortable, the unknown, that you would truly grow. And grow you have. The person you are today is not the person you were yesterday. You've evolved, transformed, and transcended all the limitations that others tried to place on you. And each time they tried to bring you down, to diminish you, to make you feel less than what you are, you only rose higher. You turned their attempts to break you into fuel for your fire, transforming the pain, the rejection, the betrayal into something powerful. And now, as you look back on everything you've overcome, you can see it for what it truly is. The making of a warrior, the forging of a soul that refuses to be broken. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be extraordinary. And that's why they can't stand it. Because your greatness, your strength, your power, it's undeniable. It's something they can't ignore, something they can't pretend isn't there. And that's why they try so hard to bring you down. But no matter what they do, they can't touch what you've built inside yourself. They can't touch your essence. your spirit, your soul, because that is yours and yours alone, and you never have to apologize for that. They may try to twist the narrative, to paint you as the villain in their story. They may try to make you seem like the one who is in the wrong, the one who caused the problems, the one who should feel guilty for standing up for yourself, for refusing to settle for less than what you deserve. But the truth is, they are only projecting their own guilt, their own insecurities onto you. They are the ones who are uncomfortable with your strength, with your refusal to beg for their approval, with your unshakable belief in your own worth. They need you to kneel before them because they are too afraid to stand on their own. They need you to question yourself because they can't bear to see you thrive without them. But you don't need them. You never did. And that's the part they can't stand. The fact that you've become everything they could never be, everything they tried to hold you back from becoming. You are your own person. You are your own source of strength. And the world is finally starting to see that. You see, when you stop begging for validation, when you stop pleading for approval, you give yourself the ultimate power. You take back control over your life. You stop letting others dictate your worth, your path, your future. And when you take back control, you stop being a puppet in someone else's game. You stop allowing others to define you, to tell you who you should be, what you should want, how you should live. You stop living by their rules, and instead, you create your own. You build your own future, your own success, your own happiness. And the moment you do that, you become untouchable. You become unstoppable. You become a force that no one can control. And that's the fear they have, isn't it? The fear that you will realize just how much power you have, just how much you're capable of achieving without them. They fear that you will rise above them, above their influence, above their manipulation. They fear that you will realize that you don't need anyone's permission to be who you are, to go after what you want, to chase your dreams. And that fear is what keeps them trying to tear you down, trying to break you, trying to make you believe that you are nothing without them. But you know better now. You know that you are everything you need. You always have been. And nothing they do can ever change that. When they try to break you, when they try to make you doubt yourself, remind yourself of this. You have already been through the worst. You've already faced your darkest moments, your deepest fears, your toughest challenges, and you've come out stronger on the other side. You've survived the storms. You've weathered the chaos. You've walked through the fire and come out unscathed. You've been knocked down, but you've always gotten back up. Every setback, every failure, every betrayal, it's all just part of the process. It's all just part of the journey that's leading you to something greater. And every time they tried to bring you down, you only rose higher. They don't understand that. They don't understand how someone can rise above their attempts to destroy them, how someone can thrive despite the obstacles in their way. But that's what makes you different. That's what sets you apart. You have something they don't. You have the courage to be yourself. You have the strength to stand tall, even when they try to push you down. And that's why they'll never break you. That's why they'll never win. Because no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they want to see you fall, you will always rise. You will always be more than they could ever hope to be. And they know that now. They know that you are unstoppable. They know that you don't need their approval, their validation, or their love. You never did. And that's why they're mad. That's why they're desperate to see you plead. But you never will. Because you know your worth, and you've known it all along. From the very moment you began to question the lies they told you, from the very first time you realized that the world wasn't as it seemed, you knew. You knew that there was something greater inside of you, something that no one could take away, no matter how hard they tried. It wasn't just a sense of pride. It wasn't just a fleeting confidence. It was a deep-rooted knowing. an understanding of your worth that came from the very core of your being. You didn't need validation from the outside world because you had already validated yourself. You didn't need the approval of others because deep inside, you knew exactly who you were and what you were capable of. That power, that knowing, became the very foundation of everything you built, and no one could ever take that from you. Not the ones who tried to break you, not the ones who doubted you, not the ones who tried to tear you down. They could try to break your spirit, to diminish your light, but they could never touch the essence of who you are. That essence is untouchable, unbreakable, and it has always been there, just waiting for you to realize it. You see, they wanted you to doubt yourself. They wanted to see the cracks in your armor, the moments when you would question your worth, when you would second guess yourself, when you would beg for approval. You stop trying to fit into their mold. You stop living for their expectations. Instead, you live for yourself. You live for the person you were always meant to be, the person who refuses to be controlled, who refuses to be diminished, who refuses to shrink. You live for the version of yourself that understands that your value is not dependent on anyone else's opinion of you. Your worth is inherent, and no one can take that from you. No one can strip away the essence of who you are, no matter how hard they try. And the more you stand in that truth, the more unshakable you become. The more you embrace your worth, the more you realize that you are unstoppable, that there is nothing in this world that can stand in your way. But here's the thing, they will still try. They will still try to tear you down, to make you question yourself, to make you feel small, to make you feel like you're not enough. They will try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind to convince you that you are not worthy of your success, your happiness, your dreams. They will tell you that you don't belong, that you're not capable, that you should stop aiming so high. But you know better now. You know that their words have no power over you, that their attempts to diminish you are just reflections of their own insecurities. They are not speaking to you. They are speaking to the fear that lives inside of them, the fear that you will rise higher than they ever could, the fear that you will break free from their grasp and create a life that they could never dream of. And that fear is what drives them to try to make you doubt yourself. But you won't. You won't let them win. You won't let their negativity seep into your soul and poison your dreams. You will keep moving forward, keep pushing ahead, because you know that your worth is not up for debate. Your worth is not negotiable. Your worth is yours, and no one can take that from you. As you continue on this journey, as you continue to rise and build, there will be more challenges. There will be more people who try to bring you down, more people who question your decisions, more people who try to make you feel less than. But you must remember this. You are not here to please anyone but yourself. You are not here to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be, of what you should have, of how you should live. You are here to live life on your own terms, to create the reality that you deserve, to pursue your dreams with unwavering confidence and an unshakable belief that you are worthy of everything you desire. And if anyone tries to tell you otherwise, let them try, because no matter how hard they push, no matter how many times they try to knock you down, you will rise. You will rise because you know your worth. You will rise because you are unshakable. You will rise because you were never meant to be anything less than extraordinary. So, the next time they try to bring you down, the next time they try to make you doubt yourself, the next time they try to make you feel like you're not enough, remember this: you've known your worth all along. You've always known that you are capable, that you are powerful, that you are worthy of everything you desire. And nothing, no one can ever change that. You are a force to be reckoned with, a person who stands firm in their truth and never apologizes for who they are. And as you continue on your journey, Remember that your worth is the one thing that can never be taken away. Keep going. Keep rising. Keep believing in yourself, because the world has yet to see just how far you will go, and it's time for you to show them. In the end, remember this: your worth is unshakable and undeniable. You don't need anyone's approval to validate your greatness. You have always known your value, and as you continue to rise, those who tried to bring you down will only watch in disbelief. Your strength, your resilience, your refusal to apologize for who you are, it's what sets you apart. You are unstoppable, and nothing can change that. Keep moving forward. Keep believing in yourself, because you are destined for greatness, and the world is yours to conquer.